All right. Hold on. Give this a sec to let people join in, get a little going here. Uh, what's up? Uh, I don't know. I never know what to do with my hands. I think it's a problem, but thank you all for coming in here. No notice, no nothing. The title of the stream is accurate. I'm gonna do some mock draft simulations here today. Have a little gay old time. Uh, so what I'm gonna do this time around is, I mean, obviously, I'm gonna do a Bears mock draft simulation. Uh, I'm doing a Pro Football Network this time around, so I did check. The last time I did one of these, wouldn't let me do a 7 rounder, and I wanted to do a 7 rounder, but that's all up and running now. So actually, I should clarify. It's Pro Football and Sports Network now. Uh, so rebrand. Uh, Hold on. I'm trying to figure out because I'm not seeing any comments showing up. Maybe I should just. I don't know. All right. So what I'm gonna do? Yeah, I'm gonna do a fun little mock draft or something. If you guys have any questions or comments or anything, feel free to let me know. Just send them along in the chat, and I'll get to them. Uh, I'm always really bad at sharing screen on this thing, so hold on. Present. All right. There we go. Now we're chilling. Got to trade back. I might trade back. We'll see. Uh I got to see how the board plays out, but I think that's probably the best way to go about it too, honestly. Assuming you don't get like a Will Campbell or a Mason Graham or something like that. Honestly, I think the best bet's to move back, but we'll see. I'm gonna do what I can here. Present, share screen. All right, 2 monitors. I don't have 2 monitors. All right, cool, whatever. Awesome. All right, so you guys can see it. You guys can see it just fine. You buff hung Italian. Happy Super Bowl Sunday, King Infante. Gracias. Um, I'm out of those three that you mentioned. I'm one of them. So thank you. What trade value chart do you look at? So typically, what I go through is, at least when I'm doing mock drafts, I will go through and, I mean, essentially, I use the Jimmy Johnson trade value chart, but there are some instances, depending on the quality of the class and things like that, you have to adjust it accordingly. So, say for example, the first overall pick last year is more valuable than the first overall pick this year, so naturally you're going to give up more. Uh, Jimmy Johnson's the one that I use the most. I think it's the classic trade chart. I mean, there are a couple other ones out there. I know, like Rich Hill. I know Brad Spielberger worked on one as well. Shout out Brad. But yeah, that's typically what I do. Does literally any team want Debo? I feel like someone's gonna want Debo. I don't. I don't. I'm not giving up anything for him at this stage in his career, but with how much he gets hurt and his inconsistency, I drafted him in fantasy football this year, and it was the biggest mistake of my life. So I'm salty about that, but just naturally, I think injuries, inconsistent play. Like, he's still a great talent, but I'm not. If I'm the Bears, I'm not even thinking about trading for him. Uh, you think Armand Membu can play guard, or is he tackle specific? I think he can definitely play guard. I think that he's probably best at tackle because I think that's where you see his footwork really shine. You see his length come into fruition, his long arms, his ability to lock out edge rushers at the point of attack. Uh, certainly think he could play guard though. Honestly, uh, just because I think he's got the density for it. He's low to the ground naturally. I think he's strong enough to be able to pull that off. So I have him as a tackle, but I do think he could play guard. I mean, if the Bears take Membu in the first round, whether it's at 10 or a trade back, I definitely think that starting him at guard would be the move. And then you run the whole Will Campbell thing that everyone's talked about, where it's like, all right, start him off at guard. If you bring back Braxton Jones, great. That's your left tackle. Keep Membu at guard. If not, you can probably slide Membu over to left tackle. No, it's easier said than done with muscle memory and all that. So, but purely hypothetical. So this is what we're gonna do. Oh shoot. Okay, hold on. Never mind. I didn't realize I didn't set the speed to. No, I don't want to. No, chase home landing. I don't want that right now. Uh, fuck. All right. Solo draft. Here we go. Should be faster. There you go. Got some speed to it. All right. Wow. All right. So Mason Graham is on the board, folks. I got my Celsius and shit that I got over here. Uh, anyway, I'm doing this from my bed. That's why I've got the stunning virtual background on. I so what I did is like I tried to put a pillow there just to like kind of elevate it so you guys don't see as much of my double chin. It's bad. I yeah, but anyway, we're gonna take Mason Graham. I'm not gonna overthink it. I'm gonna normally talk, talk through picks and debate a little bit more, but I'm not gonna overthink it. Mason Graham at 10. I don't think he's gonna be there in real life. But crazier things have definitely happened. That's for sure. Hmm. Oh, hold on. How do I pull it back up? Trade offers. Okay, so we got two of them. Uh, and I'm thinking no, just because I mean this is really good, just pure value. But if you do this, you don't have a pick in the fourth or the fifth round, and I think that's for a team that needs depth. You can't do that. So I'll stay put for now. That's true. Mason Graham's on a lot of these boards. Uh, I mean, at PFN, at sometimes PFF, NFL mock draft database as well. Um, I think it's an algorithm thing. I mean, because the rankings clearly have Graham like higher than 10 as they should. Uh, but just the way the cookie crumbles. I mean, I had in a 7 round mock I did have Mason Graham falling to 10, but I'd lean towards that not happening. All right, so let's take a look here. Let's look. So we did defensive tackle first. I'm sticking with the trenches. So I'll look at tackle because I mean I see they have Savinea as a tackle. I think he's a guard. So if I picked him here, that would be as a guard. Uh Ursery is interesting. I'll admit I don't think there's as much of an opportunity or as much of a need to draft tackle this year. I get where people are coming from, having questions about Braxton Jones. I think he's a solid starting tackle. He's not great, but he's not bad. I think, some of the comments of, oh, he's a swing tackle at best. I strongly disagree with. I think that he's better than, roughly half of the starting left tackles out there in the league right now. Uh, Granted, that also means he's worse than half the starting left tackles. So, uh, but yeah, I just think with all the needs along the interior, there's no need to force a need that isn't really there right now. So, Savinea, I like Wyatt Milam, Donovan Jackson. Donovan Jackson is interesting. So, I right now I'm kind of torn, like just looking off of this, and then center. Bleh, no. Uh, where do they have? Do they have Grace Zabel? Okay, a little lower. Um, because I do think he's going to be much higher than that. And for those of you who want a little peel back of the curtain, we'll be contributing a little bit more with additional insight on the mock draft simulators as the off season progresses. So I'm excited to be a part of it. Obviously, I love the PFN mock simulator and the articles and stuff like that. They also have uh, an off season simulator that you can sign free agents and stuff like that too. Um, I might do that one of these days. We'll see. But anyway, okay. So those are the offensive linemen. Already went D tackle, not doing that. These are the edge rushers who are available. Shamar Stewart, I think, really fits like a Dennis Allen type of edge rusher. I don't think he's going to be here in this. I don't think he's going to be a 39 in real life just because he's too much upside. But he's kind of in that in between where it's like he's not polished enough to take at 10, but he has too much upside to be there at 39. So I don't really think he's going to be an option. Uh, Landon Jackson, again, another dude. I think I don't know. I'm not as high on him as the consensus. Like I like Tuimoloau, Sawyer, and Ezraku. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but no. Anyway, I like those guys a little bit more than Landon Jackson. I just think he's quick for his size, he's powerful, high motor, but pad level is not great. Uh, I think that hurts him a bit. So, all right, I'm going offensive line with one of these picks. So, my mind, it's Savinea or Donovan Jackson because I want a guard. I'm assuming they're going to sign 2 starting free agents along the offensive line. That's just my opinion. So, I'm going in with that assumption. I'm gonna do Savinea. I have him slightly ahead of Donovan Jackson. I don't think you can go wrong either way here. I think if you're picking at 39 in real life, you can't go you can't go wrong. Uh, so Savinea is the pick for me at least. Uh, hmm. So this one's interesting. So it's only given up now a 7th round pick, or that's a 6th. Never mind, that's a 6th. But and you're getting a 2nd round pick out of the deal. I mean, the Chargers are probably going to be pretty good. So, uh, hmm, I don't know. This is just my philosophy. I really like trading down and acquiring future draft capital at a discount. That's just me. I think it's a smart philosophy that a lot of teams do because given the uncertainty of future draft picks, you can get them for cheaper than you can draft picks this current year. And I think that the Chargers, I mean, I expect them to make the playoffs again, obviously, but anything can happen. And I think that it's good to have continually build that day 2 capital, some of the extra early round premier picks. Uh, so no Wyatt Milam. I mean, yeah, I consider him. I do have him below both Donovan Jackson and Jonah Savinea in my guard rankings right now. I have Jonah a little bit higher than Donovan, but it's not by much, honestly. I don't know. I think that you're comparing the two to Milam. I think that they're both Savanea and Jackson are better athletes for the most part, and I think the pad level is a little bit better with both of those guys too. But I do think Wyatt Milam is he's technically sound as far as like his hand usage, his strike placement, his doesn't lunge very often, got good football IQ. So I like him, but not as much as the other two. Uh, I agree. I don't think Savinea is an NFL left tackle. I know the simulator has him as a tackle here. I'm picking him as a guard. I think he'd be better off suited as a guard. Uh, so just as clarity, that's why I took him. So not taking him as a tackle. I think he's probably. I mean, he could play tackle, but I think he's a better guard at the next level. I'm gonna take this trade. Uh, I love having that extra second round pick, so I'm gonna do it. Uh, all right, okay. Fuck no, I'm not taking that. That sucks. Ugh. All right, so where I traded back from, let's see, Dan Walker, Landon Jackson. Okay, Uman Princely was gone before. Alrighty. Shamar Stewart got taken. Donovan Jackson. Well, I mean, if you have a guard already, Wyatt Milam as Raku Tuimolo. Wow. Okay. All right. So let's see who's there. Caleb Johnson is interesting. Personally, I'm of the belief the Bears are going to do an early round running back to complement DeAndre Swift to find like that backfield balance, because I don't think Ben Johnson thinks of DeAndre Swift as an every down, 3-down back, personally. I mean, just judging off of how he used him in Detroit. So Samo says, check edge rushers. I'm going to do that. So this is what we have. A couple guys came off the board. Jack Sawyer still available. It's interesting. I'm a fan of Jack Sawyer. I feel like every time I mention him on Twitter, it's super hit or miss the reactions I get off of him. I'm a big fan, though. I think that from a technical perspective, he's got a deep bag of tricks. He's done a really good job of adding more moves to his arsenal as far as, how he uses his hands to, shed blocks. I think, the power is definitely there with him as well. I think Tui Molowau is more athletic. All that said, but I think Sawyer's a little bit safer of a pick. So I'd like Sawyer here. Let's see who else is there. I'm not going to do D tackle. Already did that. Running backs. All right. I mean, shoot. I can't. Human papillomavirus. Okay, HPV. It's a medication because I have AIDS. All right. Could go another edge rusher or another offensive lineman. I think, I don't think Ray Zabel's going to be there at 72. I don't in real life, but I wouldn't hate that if that happens. Yeah, these targeted ads, this is tough. I don't have HPV. I checked. Jack Sawyer's going to be the pick. All right, so this, I'm all right. I already traded a late rounder to get a pick in next year's class anyway, so good thing you're not on the clock. Yeah, I'm not on the clock. I got fucking take forever. All right, so these are our picks so far. Mason Graham, Jonas Savaiinea, Jack Sawyer, 2 defensive linemen, 1 offensive lineman. Again, you're operating under they're going to get at least 1 starting offensive lineman in free agency. Like, they have to. I think if Poles doesn't, he's fucking stupid. It's so obviously clear what needs to be done in free agency. So Caleb Johnson is interesting, as is Gray Zabel. And the rest of them, I don't know if I'd take that early. Let's see. Already did D tackle. Corner, probably not. Safety, Makuba, I really like, but I don't know. So I'll say, to clarify this, yes, you're probably going to need 3 starting offensive linemen this year. But like I said, I expect 2 of them probably to be signed in free agency. I think you have that much money. It's a pretty good guard free agent class. I mean, even if Trey Smith doesn't hit the open market, you can probably land a Kevin Zeitler, a Will Freeze. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I just know he was really good for the Colts before he got hurt this year. So I'm gonna take Gray Zabel. I don't think he's here in real life, but I'm gonna take it because, gosh darn it, I want to. Uh, let's see. Where do you see okay, where do you see center starting to get looks? I think that depends on who you classify as a center in this class. I think the top pure, like starting off, let's see, I'm not going to take this. Uh, Pure centers starting off right out of the gate. I think Jared Wilson is probably the top pure center in this class. I mean, I don't have him coming off the board until like late round 3, early round 4, honestly. So a little bit tough. I think if you have Gray Zabel as a center, which I think out of necessity he might need to be, I think he's a second round pick. I think he's a second round pick. There's some talks of him going round 1. I don't know about that, but top 50, I think is where he goes. Uh, Marcus Mabeau out of Purdue, I think it's another guy who could potentially go there for sure. Let's make this pick though. Let's make the pick. I ramble way too long. These are our picks, all trenches. So I'm sure you guys are gonna be happy about that. Because anytime I use any pick that's not offensive, defensive line in any of the first 3 rounds, I get people blowing up my mentions. Which, I mean, hey, it's a need, so you gotta be aggressive, I guess. So let's see offense. I like this pick a lot. I mean, you could be like, oh, Iowa tight end. Yeah, but he's also a freak athlete, and Iowa didn't utilize him properly in the receiving game because their passing attack sucked. But I think he's someone who can stretch the field. A little bit lanky, but he's fluid on the seam. All right, let's keep going. Kyle Monagai, Rocket Sanders, Rashard Smith. I really like him. He's, I think, one of the best pass catching backs in this class. Uh, see, I don't know if I'm gonna go running back. I don't know if I'm gonna go running back. I think I really like the value here. I could probably wait till. Oh wait, shit. No, I can't. My next pick is. My next 2 picks are in round 7. So, all right. Well, out of necessity, my yeah. So, do I go with Luke Lachey? Again, if I'm mispronouncing these, let me know. I feel like I have to classify in every single one of these goddamn streams. I don't listen to commentary when I'm because it's either all 22, which doesn't have commentary, or I watch the YouTube broadcast angle and don't I just don't fucking listen to the commentary. I just have like music or something going on or porn. So the group chat seems to like Luke Lachey. I like him too. I'm cool with that. So, all right, we don't have a pick in round 6 because we traded it in order to get a future second, which I'm cool with. Some of these, like Ty Hamilton, okay, like none of these guys should be as low, and at least in my humble, my super smart expert fucking opinion or whatever. So this is what we have: all trenches, and then we added a tight end. I'm thinking the best bet is probably running back or like a backup defensive back. Honestly, we also have 242, so that's we still have options. See, running back who's still available. Damian Martinez and LaQuint Allen. And Jaden Blue. Okay. I'm definitely going running back with these guys still available. Now the question is, let's see. I'll leave it up to the chat here, but for reference, if you don't know these guys, Damian Martinez is a bit more of a traditional power back type, processes well in between the tackles. He's like 240 pounds. I mean, he's a massive dude. Powerful runner, tough runner, very good contact balance. Doesn't have great breakaway speed. I think that's that's the drawback on him. That's why I think, he's not going to test out of this world, I don't think. Uh, but the tape's good. He was really good at Oregon State and Miami. I mean, I think he got overshadowed because Cam Ward was so good there. But Martinez looked really good too. LaQuint Allen, he's a little bit more of your, athletic receiving back type. I want to say he's like 6 foot 210, but he's explosive. He can, break away for big plays. He's got that home run ability. Not as powerful as a Damian Martinez, not as big as one, but still solid size. Great straight line speed, solid lateral quickness. I think just because you have shoot. I'm thinking Martinez here. Damian Martinez is what I'm gonna do. So there's a nice power back in there. I don't know if he'd be enough to take over Roshan Johnson in the backfield, but he's certainly someone who can compete for touches. All right, so then we got our last pick here. These defensive tackles are insane here this late. Darius Alexander, I think, who was it? I think Jordan Reed had him in his top 50. So, I mean, having him here this late is insane. Nazir Stackhouse that's wild this late. I don't have Alexander as a top 50 guy in this class by any means. I don't know. I'm not nearly as high on him as a select few in the draft community, but I'm definitely higher on him than that. CJ West, I really like that pick. I'd love that pick, actually. Let's see. Defensive backs. Maxon Hook. Okay, so this is interesting. I mean, if I'm looking for a guy this late, I'm looking for someone who can contribute on special teams. If I'm taking a defensive back, I'd love one who can tackle. Maxon Hook is big, he's physical, and he's smart. I think that's, just important things in a defensive back to have. My gut tells me at least one of Kevin Byard or Jaquan Brisker aren't back in 2026. I don't know who. I don't know what they're going to do at safety, but I think it wouldn't hurt to just throw a name in there. I'm going to take Maxon Hook. So let's do that. All right. Here's the draft. Here's the draft pick or the mock draft. Jesus, what the fuck am I saying? So look, a couple of these, I don't think Mason Graham and Gray Zabel fall where I got them at. But I mean, needless to say, I'd be very happy with this. Biased, whatever. Fuck you if you have a problem with it. But you're significantly boosting the defensive line. I think that you're getting two future starters in the offensive line here, one at guard, one at center. They both have them at tackle, but I think they're both interior guys to the next level. Luke Lachey, you got an athletic tight end because they need depth there. Cole Kmet's a good starter, and I have hope that Ben Johnson's going to maximize him much better than Shane Waldron did or Thomas Brown did down the stretch. But still, you need depth. All right, this is not true. This is not true. All right, I've got Max. Hold on. Maxon Hook. He's not white, right? I know Savine is definitely not. Martinez isn't. I don't remember. Oh shit! All right, Maxon Hook's a white dude. All right, great. All right, well that doesn't look good on me. Fuck. All right. Let's stop that one. Thanks for pointing that out. I'm an ally, so don't like that, but all right. Anyway, let's see. Let's take some questions if anyone's got anything. Savion Jones and Darius Alexander are good late round prospects. I agree. I mean, truthfully, I thought of Darius Alexander as like an early day 3 type of guy. So to see him, like top 50 in those ESPN rankings was kind of a little bit surprising to me. So I mean, I'm more than willing to look into that, and just be like, "Hey, maybe I was wrong." Uh, Again, I do like him. He's a, tough defensive tackle type. Savion Jones, though, that's someone I want to touch on because he's someone who had, by all accounts, looked really good at the Senior Bowl. Uh, watch him on tape. He was a little hit or miss at LSU, but I think from just from an upside perspective, there's definitely a lot to like with him. Uh, let's see. I'm going through some of the comments here just to see what we're missing. But no, Savion Jones. I think he's still a little bit raw, but great size, really good athlete, uh, powerful. So I mean, if you want like a developmental type on day 3, that's definitely a way to go. Gotten a little bit better as a technician, I believe. He was pretty. Because I think I first watched him like his 2022 tape or something like that. I thought he was super raw, but he has gotten a little bit better. You think Arch Manning deters some teams from taking a QB early in this draft? Good question. I I mean, I'm not a fan of this QB class in general this year. Uh just in general. Uh I mean, shit. But I also don't think Arch Manning has shown enough to this point where it's like, I can feel confident in him being a certified franchise guy and it's like, "Oh yeah, you don't have to worry about it. You can just get Arch Manning with the first pick next year." I haven't seen nearly enough. I think especially for a guy who's been a backup his first 2 years. Could he reach there? Maybe, but I don't know. I wouldn't think that. I wouldn't think there's been enough out of him to this point to be like, oh, we can pass on a QB this year. I think if you pass on a QB this year, it's just because the value's not there. How about like Donovan Jackson out of OSU in the second, third round? I like him a lot. I think he's definitely more of a second round pick. Um, I think, I came away really impressed with what he did at left tackle. I mean, obviously, he's not going to be a tackle. That's not his natural position. There were some ups and downs, but just for him to step in when Josh Simmons got hurt, I mean, shit, it was pretty impressive. What he was able to do and how quickly he was able to get acclimated outside. I think a guard though, he's athletic, he's powerful, low to the ground. You know, good balance. I think is a part of that too because of the flexibility in his lower half. He does a good job keeping his pads low, and he's controlled. So I like Donovan Jackson a lot in the second round. I don't think he's going to be available in the third round. I don't know. Oh, damn. Look at that. All right. That's pretty good. All right. I'm going to do another mock draft. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Let's see. Let's do NFL mock draft database. That's where I'm going to go for my next one. Share screen. Coming back to it. Oh, yeah. All right. You guys can see it now. Let's see. All right. 25 Bears, 7 round. All right. Let's do it. Mine looks a little weird. Okay, hold on. I'm going to try and make this a little wider so it looks. Does it look any better if I do it like this? No, it just looks the same. So I'm just going to keep it like this. All right. Are you, am I 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against something pneumonia, even if you're healthy. 6 times more likely to be hospitalized. Thanks, because I clearly look 50. Appreciate that. Hell yeah. That's targeted ads at work right there. Let's start. What the hell? All right, it just doesn't fucking show me anything. Great. What? What the hell? All right. That's there we go. Now we're back. I don't know what the hell happened there. Let's see these picks. Who got picked? Shadur first. Mikael Williams. Interesting. Cam Ward. Calvin Banks, Mason Graham, McMillan, Stewart. Okay, so there's some interesting ones here. Don't know exactly how realistic all of them are, but it's not like shit. You're getting, fifth round guys in the top 10, so it's not egregious. Like, I think Williams could go top 10. He's got the ceiling for it. Stewart, I don't think goes top 10, but I mean, if someone wants to bet on upside, sure. All right. Travis Hunter's still available, as is Will Campbell, Will Johnson, Ashton Genty. And then I don't think I'm looking this far down realistically. It's in this range here if I'm taking anyone. You know what? I like the value of everyone here. I'm gonna get nasty with it. I'm gonna try a trade. 10, 13. It's a little too much. No. Hold on. Wait. All right, Miami. I'm gonna try and trade down because here's the thing. I see all four of these guys. Will Johnson maybe not as much just because I don't know if you go a corner that early, but I think I like Will Campbell, I like Ashton Genty. Travis Hunter, if he's there, which he won't be, you have to consider just off the best player available. So I'm gonna try. All right, and then if they'd accept this, I'd You know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. All right. So Travis Hunter went. Will Johnson went. Jalen Walker went. Will Campbell's still available at 13. Ooh, look at that. Ashton Genty also still available. I mean, shit. I don't know who you're signing in free agency in this case. I think if you take Genty in round one, it's pretty dependent on how the O line looks. I mean, at D tackle, you still got some really good options. Kenneth Grant, Walter Nolan. And then it drops off a little bit. I don't know. Edge. I don't know. I feel like in this class, there's a lot of day two value at edge. I don't feel the overwhelming need, especially with some of the guys who are already off the board, to go edge. Oh, God. Fuck. All right. Josh Simmons, Armand Membu, two guys I really like. But I don't know. Will Campbell's my top offensive lineman in this class. I'm not going to overthink it. Boom. Will Campbell. There you go. Now let's see who goes next. A couple guys in the trenches went off the board. Oh, Mike Green. Mike Green. All right. So, and then let's see offensive lineman. All right. Still got some good offensive line options for sure. But this next pick, I'm looking defensive line. I am really intrigued here because Mike Green isn't a traditional Dennis Allen type defensive end. He's, pretty undersized, but he's a freak athlete, deep bag of tricks, got a lot of different moves he can beat you at the point of attack with. Let's see. My question now is, hold on. I'm trying to see if he'd go for that as a scheme fit. Mike Green, because he did weigh in a little bit higher at the Senior Bowl and played unbelievably well. So he's like 6'4", 250. That's not, yeah, that's doable. That's doable. Again, I don't think Mike Green falls here, but that's the pick. Alfred Collins was the one pick in between. Benjamin Morrison here is interesting to me. Again, I know you don't really need corner, but I think he's tremendous value at 41. Xavier Watts, I mean, you also have 48, so I think he'll be there at 48 if you do want to go down that route. Donovan Jackson, Grays, and Savinea. Jeez. All right, so I mean, I already took Savinea and Zabel in the last one, so for continuity's sake, I want to mix things up a little bit. Wyatt Milam too. Dude, I'm thinking just go Donovan Jackson. Just good value at this point. Well, who are the defensive tackles? TJ Sanders I really like, but again, he might be a little bit of a reach here. Omar Norman, I'll 48. I'll consider defense, but I love the offensive line value here. So, oh, wait, how? I'm trying to think. What was the? What was it? Go Power Rangers. I used to do back in like middle school. I was like, go Power Rangers. What the fuck am I doing? I think that's what it was. I think that's how it went. Anyway, fucking I've had like a sip of this shit, this caffeine, and I'm already off the walls. This is insane. I'm taking Donovan Jackson, just keeping the trenches as strong as possible. If you got a problem with that, blow me. Ivy's gone. Omarion Hampton's gone. Morrison's off the board. Got some good running back options. Caleb Johnson, Travion Henderson, Quinshon Judkins. You know what I'm thinking, honestly? Call me crazy. I'm thinking about trading back again. Because here's the way I look at it. I love all three of these running backs. I mean, I like Scadaboo too, but I think he's more of like a round 3 type of guy than a round 2. Let's see, check defensive tackle. This is what we have to work with. Jordan Birch, I have as a traditional edge rusher, so I don't really count him. But Shamar Turner, very good against the run. Omar Norman Lott, TJ Sanders, a bit more athletic, a bit more your pass rushing type of defensive tackles, 3 tech, if you will. Thrive a little bit more outside. I like some of the value here. I'm not in love with anyone. Here. Also, for those who are just listening in, Jay Glazer says the Jets informed Aaron Rodgers in a meeting last week that they will be moving on from him. So Jay Glazer just posted that. Aaron Rodgers is done with the Jets. So that's If that means he'll be a June 1st designation, that allows him to sign with any team in the league on March 12th if he decides to continue to play. Given that Aaron made the effort to fly back to discuss his future, all signs point to him continuing to play. It just won't be for the Jets. Interesting. I mean, shit. I'm not investing a ton of money in Aaron Rodgers at this point, but I think the Raiders will. I think the Raiders, yeah. I think that's exactly what I'm thinking because they're desperate for a quarterback. It's a big name. It's a flashy name. It's Vegas, yada, yada, yada. They need a stopgap option. When you're picking at 6, it's going to be tough to find someone unless you're trading up. And I am not mortgaging my future for any of the quarterbacks in this draft class. That's for sure. So that might be their best option. Actually, I mean, I'd take like a 1-year deal of Rodgers over giving Sam Darnold a shit ton of money. That's just me. I don't know though. So let's get back to this draft. I'm gonna try and trade back. I'm thinking like around here. Let's try Buffalo. See what we can get out of Buffalo. Let's try pick swap. Oh no. No. All right. Hold on. Wait, what? How? Okay, something's up with that because it wouldn't be enough of me giving up a 3rd round pick. That's wild. Carolina, let's try that. 57. Huh? What? That's insane. That's all right. Trade's bugging up on me, so I'm not doing that. Uh, let's see if I do. Yeah, no. All right, so I'm not trading back because the trade system's messing with me here. So let's see. The question becomes, if I'm taking a running back, do I like the value at defensive tackle enough to be like, okay, I can wait for Jordan Phillips, I can wait for Josh Farmer, or Aeneas Peebles, uh, to take one of these top running backs, or I can go for a Dylan Sampson. I can go. Well, I mean, I think this is a little high for Ollie Gordon based off what we saw at him this past year. Uh, I don't know though. I mean, I'd love to trade back a couple spots, but the simulator won't let me. So, what I'm trying to do, I'm gonna go running back. I'm gonna hold on. I'm back. Whoa! You guys see me? I'm still alive. Thank God. All right, some weird shit was going on with my laptop. We're back, and it looks like I'm alive. So thank fuck. Share the screen again to the mock draft. I don't. Something weird's going on with my laptop where whenever it's on low battery, it just turns off quickly. So if I'm going off of this, my I mean, technically, I have Judkins ranked over Caleb Johnson, but I think Caleb Johnson's a better fit for what the Bears need. I want to be nice to you guys. There are a lot of Iowa fans in the Bears fan base. A lot of people telling me Caleb Johnson should be the guy. Let's do it. Caleb Johnson is the running back. Oh yeah. Shirt reveal. Okay, so I'm doing this in my bed. Ah! So I got this at a Smashing Pumpkins concert. It says the world is a vampire, and it's got this thing. So, and then on the back it's got like all their tour dates and everything. So it was a fucking great concert. They killed it. Seeing Billy Corgan in person was fucking awesome. Great show. Receiver though, thank you. I think it goes hard too. I'm a fan of it. Uh, Smashing Pumpkins rule. Fuck yeah, they do. If you guys haven't had the chance to see them live, definitely do. All right, hold on. There you go. So I like the receiver value here. Restrepo is really enticing. Only question is defensive tackle. What's that going to look like? Because I mean, you have Dexter and Billings. Outside of that, I don't know. That said, though, I love these four guys. Stackhouse being that low is wild to me. I don't know. Honestly, I like the value of these defensive tackles better, and I'm willing to bet that one of them is going to be there at 149, more so than waiting for this at receiver. I mean, Pat Bryan I like, but Kyron Lacy's a murderer, maybe. Allegedly, don't arrest me, sue me for fucking whatever libel, slander, whatever the spoken one is. I'm not smart enough to know. I'm thinking Restrepo. I'm thinking Xavier Restrepo. That's that me Restrepo. Oh, I don't know. Sabrina Carpenter, if you're watching this, fucking hit me up. I know you're not, but if you like chubby guys who spend their Sunday afternoon just fucking doing mock drafts, let me know. Yeah, I'm taking Restrepo. I think he fits that slot mold that, I mean, if you have a Doomsday and more out wide, probably not going to resign Keenan Allen. Restrepo is fast. I think he's got good speed, but even better quickness, if that makes sense. Like he's twitchy coming in and out of his breaks, shifty after the catch, smart route runner too, really good hands. I get kind of Josh Dobbs vibes out of him, where he's not the biggest guy out there, but he's quick, catches the ball really well. Restrepo, 98. Boom. Look at that. See that fucking look at how that transformed the goddamn offense. All right, so I've gone pretty offensive heavy. Let's see. Peebles. Is Elijah Arroyo still available? No, he is not. What he was okay. So he's ranked 70th, which sounds about right. I don't know where he got picked, but yeah, Tim Patrick, I think, is an interesting option. I definitely think he's going to be a good value add. I mean, obviously, he knows the offense. Having spent time with Ben Johnson, he was, good as a rotational guy. Not going to be super expensive. I like him as a good wide receiver 3 competitor, but I think you still also need someone else to compete with him for that spot. So, well, I mean, it depends on how much faith you have in Tyler Scott. I think he can become something more than what he's shown he's been in the NFL. Uh, but I haven't seen enough for him where it's like, okay, I'm totally comfortable giving him that competition for wide receiver 3. I mean, if he ends up winning it, awesome. But I still think you need to boost that depth a little bit. So D tackle, I really like this value. Peebles is screaming at me. He's undersized, but he's athletic as all hell. Plays his ass off. Smart football player. I I like CJ West a lot. I feel like I've gone with him in a lot of these mock drafts. Riley Mills as well. He's fits a little bit more of like that lengthier type of defensive tackle. But I love me a good low to the ground, undersized but athletic as all hell, polished defensive tackle. So Aeneas Peebles, there we go. That's gonna shore up the defensive line a little bit. Uh, I'm a fan of this mock. I mean, I'm obviously biased, but whatever. CJ West being still available is crazy. Uh, but let's see what else there is. Chase Lunt, I like, is good offensive line depth, but I mean, you already went to offensive lineman. Oh, Malachi Moore and Jalen Reed, Jonas Sanker. Oh, okay. I really like the safety value here. Malachi Moore in particular, I like. He's smart. He can play the slot. He can play as a deep safety. He can play out wide. Intelligent, fluid defender. I like him a lot. Tight end. There's some good value here. Brining Stool. Again, guys, I don't watch with audio on, so I don't fucking know. It's good value at 197. Carter Runyon from Towson, and then got some interesting shots down memory lane. Michael Trigg, Seydou Traore. Let's see. Patrick Herbert. So are we gonna have fucking Eric Gilbert in here somewhere? While we're going through guys that didn't pan out. Let's see. I like the safety value a lot. I might do a tight end later, Steven. I think that's a good call. Definitely need the depth there, but I like the value at safety a little better. I need to consult my rankings. Who do I have higher? Malachi Moore or Jaden Reed or Jalen Reed? Oh, so I have Malachi Moore higher. Interesting. So that's what I'm gonna go with. Another A plus value. The simulation's loving me. I don't blame them. I'm hot. See, Kyron Lacey got picked. Not that I was interested anyway, but all right. So still most of the same tight ends. I don't know. Bryson Nesbitt. I know the sim's not gonna love that grade wise because they have him pretty low. I like Nesbitt a good amount, as you know, he's a little bit more of a receiving first type of tight end. He's not really going to wow you as a blocker, but you know, steady hands, good athlete. I'm willing to sacrifice my mock draft of all A's to shore up tight ends with someone I think is a good value in round 7. So Bryson Nesbitt, there you go. And then quarterback. Let's see who's here. Taylor Elgersma, Wilfred Laurier. You know, I put him in there. My mock, I when I did my mock off season or whatever, I sent it to Denny, the guy who runs this site, and he's like, he said like fucking Taylor Elgersma from where? And I'm like, yeah, he was the Canadian college football MVP, baby. You know, U Sports represent. Uh, so and he's like, sometimes I swear you're just doing this to fuck with me, and I'm like, well, I mean, I like to flex my draft muscles. It's fun, but also I think you should be in the sim. So I think I'm doing the masses a favor personally. But anyway. All right, so this is what we've gone so far. I need to get this fucking ad out of the way. There you go. So assuming 2 guards, maybe Campbell would eventually be a tackle, depending on what you want to do with Braxton Jones. Starting edge rusher, starting running back, probably competitor for wide receiver 3, D line depth, secondary depth, tight end depth. I mean, we've hit all the all the big needs really. I mean, you corner, I guess you could have someone compete for that, but I kind of like O'Donnell Fortune here. I kind of like O'Donnell Fortune, and the reason I say that, he had a pretty damn good Shrine Bowl, and at least what I've seen, I mean, I can't sit here and claim I've watched every single goddamn snap of O'Donnell Fortune, other than the fact I think he's got a cool name. But I mean, he's smart. He can make plays on the ball. He's competitive. Let's do it. O'Donnell Fortune, and then that's our last pick. All well, besides Marshall, all big schools. So I'm a fan of that mock. I I don't know. I feel like with a mock draft simulator, it's tough to be like, oh, I don't like this because I feel like just because of there are going to be guys you're higher on than the consensus that you can get, and it'll be like, oh, I think that's a really good pick. There are definitely some times where I have to restart because I'm like, fucking, I don't like who's available here, but I'm a fan, especially these early picks. Then Peebles, Moore, and Fortune is depth for the defense. Nesbitt, I think, is someone who can carve out a decent niche as a backup tight end in the league. Save it. Oh yeah. And this is the draft the trade I pulled off. Move back 3 spots in round 1 and move back a little bit in round 3 to pick up another second round pick. I think that's well worth it. Let's see. So Campbell, Green, Jackson, Johnson, Restrepo, Peebles, Moore, Nesbitt, Fortune. Talk to me. Nice. All right. Who was the last pick? I want to know. Who was Mr. Irrelevant? Was Jabbar Muhammad. Interesting. He's someone I've got like an early day 3 on. So that's a little interesting. Well, all right. Fucking thank you guys. Thanks for coming in, watching the show. Coming in a little under an hour. I'm gonna see if I can end it right at 1 hour because that'd be pretty sweet. almost 3,000 viewers for something that was pretty last minute. It was pretty awesome. So thank you guys. Appreciate everyone for coming in. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Enjoy my double chin. And yeah, there you go. That's an hour. Booyah. Uh, I don't know. I'm probably just gonna sit in bed the rest of the day. So sweet dreams. God bless. I love you. I don't know. Thanks for tuning in. See you in the next one. Peace.